Do I have commentary improvement goals? All of the time. How do you improve less mechanical skills like creativity? Are you talking about for commentary? So this is something that for me, I do in commentary a lot. Like the mechanical bits of commentary is knowing frame data, knowing information, knowing how to deliver, all that kind of stuff. There's mechanical bits of commentary to think about. Creatively in commentary, in thinking about how to describe stuff and thinking about the words to use, the verbiage, I love listening to people who speak in things that aren't competitive at all. I love listening to reviews, music reviews. Anthony Fantano here. I love listening to shit like that. Music reviews, podcasts, documentaries. If you're learning how to, speak, you want to have some words or phrases or anything like that, there will be things that, like, when I listen to someone else who speaks for a living, I'll be like, okay, what are they saying? What are they doing? How are their descriptions? You know what I mean? Like, you're just sitting there thinking about, like, how do they speak? What are the ways they describe things? Do I like this stuff? Do I dislike this stuff? How does it sound to me, the viewer? One thing that I really like, I've talked about this before, but last year when I was prepping for Dragon Ball, when I was getting ready for it, one of the big things I wanted to hit last Dragon Ball at EVO was short mini descriptions. This is part of condensing my analysis. So I wanted analysis on players and a breakdown of their styles and how these styles clash. And I talked about last year how Obama used to do these long speeches where he was like, all right, we got Nage Faust versus Omito Johnny. These are the two pillars of this country, man. They're going up against each other right here. It's the weight of the coin. Steve, you don't understand. Like, he was doing this shit. He was spitting this in the beginning of the set, right? I thought it was fascinating. And it was such an interesting story into the narrative of these two players, And I thought to myself, that's good shit. And then there was Anthony Fantano. It's such a funny combination of stuff. There was Anthony Fantano who would be like, today we're, looking at an album by Eduardo Hook Gang God, streamer, player, fighting game, and gang lord himself. Like, he'd have a description where he gave all of the different things this person does. He'd be like a singer, rapper, songwriter, owner of this company, fashion, mogul. He'll give you a breakdown of all they do. And it was kind of like a combination of that kind of two styles where I was like, okay, how do I take the narrative, speech, and delivery that Obama brings, where he's breaking down someone's style, and something like this where you have a short description, and mash them together to Sonic Fox is the king of the scramble. He's excellent at just applying pressure. There's nobody better in the world than feeling and sensing the gaps in your defense and just blowing you up. No human can defend against Sonic Fox, but he's up against Goichi, who is the unbreakable defense. He's not Justin Wong. He doesn't escape and evade and vanish. He stands tough and he just sits there and says, bring it on. Can you break my defense? And the answer is almost always absolutely not. And we have these two titans clashing in this just brick wall versus this unstoppable force of offense. And you have like direct knowledge and just comfort like in defense versus feeling and emotion and intuition on offense clashing heads. And that's like the main thing that I wanted to bring to this, is setting the stage of Sonic Fox's offense is so broken and Goichi's defense is so unbelievable that making the clash of the two feel like it is bigger than reality. It is unbelievable, selling the players in that style, right? I wanted to make sure I did that right. And I did that again this year at EVO. And I noticed it when I read the discussions about the set. People would talk about how Sonic Fox's offense is broken, and people would talk about how Goichi's defense is crazy and blah, blah, blah. A lot of the analysis I used was easy enough to understand, and I see it reflected in how people talk about the sets. That's a good sign. When the analysis I'm delivering is digestible enough that the average viewer can take it away and use it to discuss the set, I did a good job. That is a good sign for me. I'm like, you know what? I have all this analysis and all this complicated shit, but I made it simple enough that people at home, and condensed enough that people at home could take it and use it and think about it in the context of a fighting game match. Perfect. That's all I needed to see, right? I was like, all right, I crushed it. Even if you want to discuss language, when I sell someone like Goichi's defense, you talk about him being a wall and how strong he is. When you sell someone like Justin's defense, you don't talk about that. You talk about his evasiveness, how good he is at avoiding bad situations. There's differences in how you talk about their defense. And even though they're defensive players, I think you can be lazy and just describe them both as defense. But I think if you really want to do the job right, you have to make sure that the language and descriptions of these two styles, even if they're similar, you explain the difference. So I watched Salem versus Leffen. Now look, I know there's a lot of drama in Smash about Salem versus Leffen, right? I know that that's a big one. I remember seeing on Twitter when Salem was like, I've done years of research. You know, you played Melee. That's not even a real Smash game. You're not going to have success in Ultimate. This is why Melee players don't do well in Ultimate or Brawl or 4, because Melee is not even a real Smash game, right? These are the real Smash games. You get smoked in Ultimate. That was forever ago. That was like when the game came out. They played in tournament. And Leffen wins 2-1. Game 1, Leffen wins. It's Snake versus PT, Pokemon Trainer. Game 2, Salem wins with Snake. Close game. Game 3, he switches to Hero and he loses. And the thing about Hero is like he's like an RNG character. So he pulls up a menu and he has a list of options he can do. He's like a JRPG character. He has a list of options he can do, and some of them are fucking crazy. And afterwards, he made some tweet. Salem made some tweet that was like, I could have won with Snake, but I wanted to switch to Hero for like maximum, like, you know, to make Leffen pissed or whatever, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it is just so funny to me because I'm thinking to myself, like, man, how are you gonna tweet some shit like that? I would have won if I stayed Snake, but you know, I wanted to play Hero to fuck with him. I would have won if I played your Aaron Black. You're absolutely right. I didn't even realize. Anyway, what's fascinating to me about that rivalry, right before that, it was Osti on the mic with, I forget the other guy's name. Hazmat, there it was. This is like a big match coming up, right? They saw it on the stream, and Austi's like, I can't believe the match we're about to see next. It's about to be as crazy as T2XGG for dropping the 6 months. I appreciate you. Thanks very much. Austi's like, this match that we're about to have can't be real. Yeah, this match is going to be crazy. And he goes, bro, you want to break down the lore for them? You want to tell them? And Hazmat, I'm ready for him. Like, hit me with a Hazmat. Hazmat goes, they don't like each other. And I was like, this lore is so important. When you look on the screen and it says TSM Leffen versus MVG Salem, you know that this match is going to be A, watched by a shit ton of people on Twitch, but B, extremely highly viewed on YouTube. This match is going to be the talk of the fucking town forever. Come on, man. You gotta hit me. You gotta hit him with the lore. You gotta fucking be like, well, there's some Twitter drama back in the day. This guy Salem was being real crazy and saying that Smash Melee players weren't even real Smashers. So now he is running into a not real Smasher. This is a Dragon Ball FighterZ player that he is running up against here on stage. That is a base Vegeta player in TSM Leffen's up against Salem. That is going to be this match here. Is absolutely unbelievable. He even said on Twitter that he could defeat Leffen with any character he picks. So the amount of trash talk between these two is crazy. They've never liked each other, and they are meeting each other for the very first time here at Super Smash Con 2019, Osti. That's what's going on. I wanted it so bad. If I go to YouTube and I type the word Leffen, the very first thing that comes up is Leffen versus Salem, and it has 344,000 views on YouTube. That is as many as mine air with the Twitch Prime. Thanks very much. It got posted a day ago. I was like, God damn it. You better sell the shit out of this. You better make it the most compelling art. Like this commentary better be the best shit you've ever delivered in your life. The rest of the block doesn't even matter, really. It's so important. When Steve and I knew that Sonic Fox versus Goichi was coming up and it was going to be the winners finals of Dragon Ball, we were like, everything we could think. We were like, this shit's going to be crazy. This is absolutely unbelievable. This shit's going to be incredible. Like, it's going to be fucking wild, right? We're like, oh my God, you got to do it, dude. This shit's going to be watched by everybody. I was so sad. I was like, damn it. And the thing is I liked Hazmat on the mic. I actually enjoyed his commentary, but I really needed him to yes and he didn't yes and. He yeah sured. And I was like, damn it, dude. You know what's interesting? And I don't know, this is how it works for me. When I watch a tournament, it's very hard for me not to think about the commentary a lot. Just in the context of like my brain thinking about it and your brain thinking about it. You know, when a player watches a match, they're going to be thinking about the decisions and how they play and all that stuff, right? When a viewer watches the match, they could be looking at anything. I don't know what an average viewer is paying attention to when they're looking at a match. But for me, I listen to the commentary a lot. When I talk to people, when they work in production, when they watch matches, they're like, man, the camera angle there is really weird. Why did that stinger come out right here? Why did they do this, and that? You know what I mean? It's going to be different for everybody. So that's why I was just thinking about that. Commentary has to have more yes and. It has to have lots of yes and, actually. You got to keep it up. If you're going to kill your co-commentator, if you're going to dead him, it better be because it's funny or because the moment's cool or whatever. Otherwise, even if they say something absolutely absurd, you can't let them sink unless they're sinking. Then you just let them sink and you're like, oh, fuck it, you're dead. Well, I'm not going to throw you shit. We're out of here, bro. I'm taking me and the viewers. We're in the lifeboat. We're going without you. You can tell someone's genuine ability on the microphone. When we do Jenga, it's anything, right? It's just a bunch of anythings. Jenga is yes and to the ultimate T. It's like the highest level of yes and we've ever done. There's no substance. There's nothing there that we can really focus on besides that. So when we're doing the jump off and it's like me and Steve and TK and Seth Killian, it's just a row of people who can yes and whose genuine fighting game background knowledge and info is high enough that the four of us could sit there and talk for 10 hours straight about anything. 10 hours, no problem. We could just sit there and do it.